everybody, we're going to make some Mediterranean wraps tonight. This is a great recipe to try some new flavors if you're not familiar with Mediterranean diet. It's also going to highlight some of the healthy components if you're trying to work towards that eating pattern. I'm going to use the recipe loosely, I would say, because I've already done some of the steps. They recommend using couscous, whereas I'm going to use bulgur wheat, which is a cracked wheat, so it's a whole grain. I have a hard time finding whole wheat couscous, and bulgur cooks up in 15 minutes on the stovetop. So this recipe essentially makes a tabbouleh, and then you add in chicken. I'm going to also add in some chickpeas or garbanzo beans, just to add in a little more fiber and to add some more vegetables in, this is a very vegetable heavy meal, so it's going to be really tasty. If you're concerned with carbs, if say you or your loved one has diabetes, then you can do what I'm going to do. Still add in the beans. You could opt to not have as a wrap and have it more as a salad, or even use like a reduced carb tortilla or a whole wheat tortilla and just monitor the portion size. The recipe does recommend that a lot of things are chopped, so I went ahead and chopped everything. Again, have my bulgur wheat here already cooked, and my chicken breast. They actually do their chicken breast cooked on the stovetop with some of the ingredients. I've already cooked mine, which I like to cook a bunch of chicken breast in bulk. So I've already got mine cooked and cubed, and we're just gonna throw everything in together. I'm gonna add our sauce components first. So that's gonna be about a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. This is another difference. I'm going to use dried mint because this is what I have on hand. If you have fresh mint, then go ahead and use 1/2 cup of fresh mint. I have about a 1/4 cup of dried mint that I'm going to go ahead and add in. Okay, next we'll move over to our cutting board. Here I have a couple cloves of garlic. I think it calls for a couple teaspoons. I went ahead and chopped up a couple cloves of garlic. And that's going to be a cup of chopped parsley. Now I'll put in my cucumber. And if you're like me and you have a tomato hater in your household, you can leave the tomatoes out and just add it in for those that like tomatoes. That's a courtesy to my husband. I'm going to give this a stir. And I'm going to toss in my bulgur wheat. Okay, this is where I'm going to differ from the recipe, one of the many ways. And I'm going to add in a can of garbanzo beans. They have been drained and rinsed. And now for my chicken. Recipe calls for a pound of tenders. This is approximately that amount of chicken breast as well. Maybe a little less. A lot of times I will, if I'm adding in beans as a protein, I will reduce the amount of chicken. That's just one of the little things that I do, just to save a little bit of money, just to be a little more budget friendly. But if it's in something like this, it usually works very well. Or soups. Soups are another great place that you can do that too. Add in it'll add in a little bit of fiber, which most Americans don't get enough. So at this point, you could call this done and put it on a salad, a bed of lettuce, and have a salad, or go on and do what we're going to do and make it into wraps. Again, I've opted for some lower carb tortillas. They're also whole wheat. So I'll just fill it up with some of our yummy mix here. And these aren't very big, so they'll help portion control as well. This one will be mine, so I'll add in some of our tomatoes. And call that done. I hope you enjoy your Mediterranean wrap.